Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks very much indeed for joining me. My name is Neil Andrew, and I'm from Crick Software, and I'm going to be running you through the brand new Clicker 8 and Clicker Writer tools this afternoon. In the next 25 minutes, we're going to be taking a look at how Clicker can transform literacy support for your students. We've got a good number of people here, which is great. If any of you have questions while we are going through the presentation, please just unmute yourselves and ask the question to me. That's great. I am also recording this session and you'll be able to access this recording afterwards, so you shouldn't have to take too many notes. So without further ado, let's get started because we've got a lot to cover in 25 minutes. So let's take a look at this first screen in my Clicker set. And I realize that some of you may or may not be familiar with Clicker and what it does, so we'll give you a little bit of background as we go through. But how will Clicker transform literacy for your students? So first thing to say is that Clicker comes with access to a very broad range of engaging and free to download curriculum resources on a wide range of curriculum topics to kickstart writing. It's designed to support students of all abilities right across the ability range, and there is a full range of accessibility options built into it as well. For example, switch access, eye gaze, and so on, if that's of interest to you. Clicker also promotes independence because at its core is a child-friendly word processing support that will enable and support students of all abilities to work independently, particularly useful at this time of remote learning as well. And the final point to make in my introduction is that Clicker enables very, very easy sharing of activities and resources through Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever your sharing mode, your sharing mechanism is. And we'll try and have a little look at that as well. But as I say, we have only got 25 minutes. So I'm going to go fairly quickly. You'll be able to review at your own leisure as you watch the recording afterwards. Okay, here we go. And I'll put my contact details up at the end as well. So when I first open up Clicker, I come to a screen that looks like this. It's called the Quick Start view. Down the left-hand side, we've got our recently used documents, which is the word processing part of Clicker. And then at the bottom of here, we've got our recently used Clicker sets. And you'll see what Clicker sets are as we go through. They are the supports that we provide for literacy within Clicker. Over here, you can create a new document, a new mind mapping board, and a new book. More about those shortly, okay? The other thing you can do in this Clicker Explorer view is access your files. So this is where you go to open documents and Clicker sets that you have previously created or that you want to share with others. And then most importantly, if I click on this tab here called Learning Grids, we connect to the website of free downloadable content for Clicker. Once you've bought Clicker, you have free access to this resource. And we're going to actually jump right into this immediately this afternoon because we haven't got a lot of time. And I want to show you how we can access instant resources and activities to get started, okay? So the way that you use Learning Grids, this is basically the website being displayed within Clicker. You can either search by curriculum area, and you can see all those subtopics popping up as I click on them, or you can search by keyword. And the scene that I want to set for my presentation this afternoon is I want us to imagine that we're working with students remotely at the moment, and we've been doing a topic on life cycles, maybe plants. Okay, so we've done a remote experiment where we've got our students to plant a seed, and we want to see how much of that comprehension has been embedded. So we're going to look up planting a seed in Learning Grids, and we're going to search, and we're going to scroll down, and we can see, as it says there, click a book, click a book, click a book. You can see there are different types of support that you can download. Okay, up top you can specify the ones that you want to look for. We're going to start off with a writing support called a sentence set, which is kind of like the entry-level writing support, if you like. And this is the one I'm looking for, where I'm going to be able to provide some whole word sentence support for a student to write about planting a seed. Just want to make the point here, this could be any topic, and not science specific. It's not just about planting seeds. You can find resources across the full curriculum. So when I click on open, what will happen is this resource will download and open in Clicker. So you don't need to leave Clicker to open it. There it is. Okay, so what have we got on our screen in front of us? Well, let's have a little closer look at that now. So up top, we've got our word processor. And this is free entry. You can type in here whenever you want to. So as students progress from having to use whole word support, they can start to type whenever they want. So if I type in, my name is Neil.
My name is Neil.
Hopefully you can hear that speech support. So when you punctuate, you see the words light up and you hear the sentence being read out. Down at the bottom of the screen, in our clicker set, we've got, in this particular example, the words for a complete sentence scrambled up. You can have them in the correct order, the wrong order, alphabetical order, or even guided or forced order. I want to use this picture, so I click on it, okay? When I want to use these words, I click on them. That's why the product is called Clicker. So if I'm able to read the words, I'm just going to click those in the right order. First, get the equipment ready. There's my period.
First, get the equipment ready.
What a great way of reinforcing the sentence. I have to listen to it each time I punctuate, and it helps me to self-edit, okay? If I was a student who was struggling to read those words, let's move to the next grid in the sentence set. You can see how we navigate with the blue arrows there. I might want to use speech support, okay? So to use speech support in the grid, all you have to do is right-click.
Fill with planned part.
If you're using Clicker Writer, the companion app on an iPad, or if you're using a touch screen, you can access that right-click action with the sound shift button up here, which will allow you to listen to the words. So often students will
fill the plant with soil.
Will listen to the words to rehearse the sentence, and then they'll make their choices. As so.
Fill the plant pot with soil.
Okay, you get the idea. So that's what's called a sentence set. Just very, very quickly, if you want to edit or customize that sentence set or any clicker set, you click down here, bottom left, on the Edit Clicker Set menu. And you can now see down the left-hand side, a bit like a PowerPoint slide sorter, each of the grids in the sequence. And in order to customize them, top to bottom, you can change the text in the sentence. Okay, so let's make that a little different. We'll change that into the pot. And you can see it instantly changes in the preview. We're going to add a view and copy sentence model. Okay. We're going to change the order to sentence order maybe. And you know what? We want to make those changes to all of the grids in the sequence because we're working with a different student. So we can apply the settings to all of the grids. And now they all have a sentence model.
Use a watering can to water the seed.
And all of the words are in the correct order. So that's basically what you're starting out with in terms of a writing support. It's called a sentence set. Okay, let's look at some others. I've got a few saved here in a folder that I've created for this presentation. And I've got a folder in here called Planting and Life Cycles. And I've collected some of those Learning Grids resources to show you how else we might support students at different levels working on the same topic. The next one I'm going to open is a Connect set. This is the next progression on from a sentence set. And what you see here now is you've got similar pictures, but you have to make the choice of order in those pictures. And then instead of having single sentences on a grid, you've still got whole word and whole phrase support, but you've got multiple sentence outcomes. So you can see how the progression works from a sentence set to a clicker set. And you also see here that we've color coded the parts of speech as well. Functionality wise, it's identical.
First, get the soil down.
Right click to listen, left click to send. Okay. And again, guys, don't forget, you should all be able to unmute if you want to ask a question. I don't appear to have a chat window in this particular version of Zoom that I'm using, I'm afraid. So I am going to rely on you to unmute and ask questions if you have any. Okay, let's take a look at the next level up from a Connect set, which would be a word bank. You can see the key over here is telling me what that color coding refers to. And in this one here, we're taking a step back from whole sentence support to just providing keywords to support a piece of free writing. So in this particular word bank, we've got 6 tabs with critical vocabulary for flower, pollination, fertilization, fruits and seeds, dispersal, and germination. You can still listen.
Anther, ovary, filament, ovule.
And the idea would be that you've got a student, I am writing about the, and they need help with the new topic words. So they're using combination of keyboard and word bank.
I am writing about the nectary and the filament.
Something else just to say about the document, if you need it, there is a predictor that floats below the cursor, and that predictor is it provides in-word, next word, and phonetic word prediction. So as you start to type, you see the words appearing in the predictor. Let me make that a little larger for you. And if you want to listen to those words, again, you can right-click.
Favorable. Favorite.
Favorite part of the flower is, oops, is the, and let's imagine we wanted to write nectary there. What you notice is that nectary actually appears in the predictor, and that's not by coincidence. Basically what happens is all the words within any clicker set that's open are automatically prioritized in the predictor. So we call that topic-specific word prediction, okay?
My favorite part of the flower is the nectary.
So that gives you a little bit of a feel for how we can support students writing at different levels very easily and very, very quickly. What about doing something like a mind map? Well, Clicker also contains a feature called Clicker Board. That's a special kind of clicker set that fills the screen. And instead of having a document, you don't have any document at all. You have this kind of full screen grid. And in this very simple example, all we're asking our students to do here is demonstrate their comprehension by moving the picture sequence around, like so, getting the pictures in the right order, and then using this voice note button to actually record their voice to describe the sequence. So Clicker is not just about a physical act of writing, it's about all aspects of literacy, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And I hope you're getting the idea of the sheer breadth of support that we can provide for students. But let's talk now about how we might be able to share resources with students working remotely. So let's imagine you found a great resource. Let's just go back up a level, called Traditional Story Words. You're changing the subject now. You're working on a piece of English language art assignment. You've been studying traditional story words. You want students to use these words in their writing. And so what you want to do is take this word bank and save it, let's say, for example, to Google Drive, to a shared folder where students can open it. So we're just going to go into our clicker set ribbon up top. We're going to go Save As. We're going to browse to our desktop because that's where my Google Drive shortcut is. I've got a folder ready for this demonstration, and I'm going to save it in there, Traditional Story Words Students. Okay. That's saved, that's done. And Google Drive is synchronizing with my cloud Google Drive, and I'll just show you that. Hopefully it's synchronized by now. Let's go in and take a look, and you can see that Traditional Story Words is there. So from a student perspective, if you kind of flip that on its head, so now we'll just close all of those clicker sets and imagine that we are the student. Okay. All the student needs to do is browse to the same folder. Click on the resource that you've provided. They open it, they start to use it. Some of you might be wondering about picture support in grids. We've got some phenomenal new ways of adding picture support in Clicker 8, including this one. If I go into my edit view, when I look down at the appearance section of this grid, I've got a picture button at the end, which allows me to do something called Picturize. You can browse and put individual pictures in if you want to, but Picturize is a phenomenal new time-saving feature. It allows you to pick a library of pictures and instantly picturize. Can you see that? So each cell now has a picture, and you've just saved a ton of time in populating those cells with pictures. And when you click on the cells, you can choose to either have the picture going into the document or not. That's just really easy to change setting there as well. Okay, let's imagine now a student has used a piece of some of these supports, I should say, to produce a piece of writing. Let's go back to our shared files here. And imagine they've used a combination of those planting a seed sets. Let's say they've had this one and a couple of the others. And they have saved their work in Google Drive for you. And they've called their document. Oh, I know where I'm going. Sorry, just give me a second. I think it's in here. Whoops. Homework There you go. There's Neil A, that's me. There's Neil's homework, that's a clicker document. And as a teacher, I want to open this now. And you can see that Neil's done some great writing on planting a seed. But what you're interested to know, particularly working remotely with a student, is how has that writing been produced? What supports have been used? Spell checker, predictor, clicker sets, what? Well, you can't tell just by looking at the document. But in Clicker 8, we've added a phenomenal new feature called Analytics, which allows you to open a document and see in depth how that student has produced that piece of writing. Again, think about working with students remotely. This is a phenomenal tool because you're able to look at it retrospectively. The text has become color-coded. You'll see why in a second. Over here on the right, we have our analytics donut, which shows us how many words have been entered from the keyboard, how many using the predictor, how many using clicker sets, and how many using spell checker. And each of these tabs shows you and cross-references words that were typed with the keyboard, words that were accepted from the predictor, and the letter pattern that was used, and whether speech support was used. Here are all our clicker sets that were used to support this piece of writing. And if we click on the individual words and phrases, we can see where they were used in the written document. Long story short, you've got some phenomenal data here to inform you as a facilitator of how you want to progress in terms of supporting this student. The last two tabs show you the spell checker use, including misspellings, and whether any text was copied and pasted into the document. All of this information is exportable and printable, and you can add teacher notes to it as well. Okay, let's just clear that document away, and we're almost out of time. We've only got 9 minutes left, so I'm going to make sure I have time to show you Clicker Writer as well. I'm just going to close all of these things here now. What about testing comprehension in different ways? Well, we've added a brand new component to Clicker called the close document. So it's a special kind of document that allows you to create close activities or fill the gap type activities. And for that, I'm just going to grab this piece of text about sunflowers. We're staying on this topic of plant life cycles. And in fact, I'll take all of that there. You can copy and paste text from any source, website, PDF, Word document, whatever you want, or you can type it yourself. And then we're going to go back into Clicker, into our document menu, and instead of a new Clicker document, we're going to do a new close document. In goes our text. You can see you can have a lot more text than that if you wanted to. Before I forget, you can print the worksheet down here as well, and all you have to do is go through and remove the target vocabulary that you want to test comprehension on. So we'll just do 5 or 6 here. And Clicker will take care of the rest, folks. You can differentiate your activity by controlling the number of suggestions that are provided with each gap. You can have it so that there are custom words or distractors for each gap. You can have no help at all. You can dim the used answers to help students narrow down their choices, and the blanks can be standard, large, or actual word length. And we're going to click on Go. And you can see that our close activity is done and dusted. So let's put a few answers in here. Oh, what about if you need speech support?
Roots from the seed grow down into the.
And you can hear that beep as it indicates the blank. Okay, let's put some answers in here. Of course, you don't have to do them in the right order. I'm going to make some deliberate mistakes and some correct answers as well. And I'll leave one of them blank. And what you're all wondering is, what about that analytics piece? Would that work on a closed document? Absolutely it would, folks. You click on the analytics ribbon, and now you've got a very similar concept. The analytics donut over here now is showing you a combination of how many answers were the same as original, different to original, and not attempted. So 3 the same, 2 different, sorry, 3 different, 3 the same, 2 different, and one with no attempt made. And over here, you can see that summary, and you can click on the same tab, the different tab, and the not attempted tab. Okay? So being able to create closed activities that quickly is a huge, huge benefit of Clicker 8. Okay, so let's jump back. We'll open one more resource. Okay, let's go back to our shared files. I'm going to just open up a sentence set, completely different topic, when I feel worried, okay? Oops, that's not the one I wanted. This was the one I wanted. Okay, we'll clear away our document. All right. Now, Clicker Writer, the companion app to Clicker 8, is able to utilize clicker sets that come under the umbrella of sentence sets, connect sets, and word banks. So any of these three types of clicker sets and the clicker document is fully compatible with Clicker Writer. And to show that, we're going to take that clicker set, we're going to save it back to our Google Drive like we did before. And we'll just save it right there in the NHAT folder when I feel worried. Save. Let's make sure that that is syncing. Yes, it is. Then we're going to minimize Clicker. And what we're actually going to do now is we're going to browse our. Ooh, why can't I see it? Hold on. I had my remote control here for my Chromebook, and it's gone. Okay then. Let me just see if I can pull that back up. Basically, I've got a remote control to my Chromebook, which I'm able to then control from here. I'm just going to see over on my Chromebook why that is not sharing. Just give me a second. Okay, we just need to put the code in again. 334. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, folks? I'm just going to walk you through it, otherwise we're going to run out of time. So basically, Clicker Writer has a very, very similar look and feel to Clicker 8. It would open and look exactly like this. The idea of Clicker Writer is it provides you access to Clicker on an iPad and a Chromebook, because Clicker 8 is Windows and Mac. You would go to Google Drive, open up this resource, and it would behave in an identical fashion. Okay, and although I haven't been able to remote my my Chromebook, I'm sure if I show you the website at the end, you can go take a look at the tutorial video and see for yourself. Okay, so that's the last thing I'm going to do, is take you to our website, cricksoft.com, and I'm going to walk you through where you can find out more information. So if you click on Clicker, you've got an About Clicker page, which gives you a really nice overview video at the start, and then you can explore Clicker 8 for Windows Mac, which is what I've been showing you today, and Clicker Writer for iPad and Chromebook, which is the one that decided to lose my remote control today. I apologize for that, but it's better to talk about it rather than spend 5 minutes trying to reconnect it. And also on our website, critically, we've got tons and tons of free training materials. So if you click on Clicker here, you can see that we've got a tutorials page, and this allows us to get into some brilliant little 90-second videos that talk to you about a particular aspect of Clicker. And then with most of them, there is a printable cheat sheet or summary. Can you see that? And it's got a little print button at the bottom. So we're all about providing the support for use. You can also access learning grids from our homepage. So if you want to browse learning grids on a machine that doesn't have Clicker 8 installed, you still can do that. And you can do things like share those resources by email, Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest if you want to. The reason these are here like this is to allow you, maybe if you're on your different computer that doesn't have Clicker 8 installed, you can start to browse and download resources, put them on a flash drive or into Google Drive, and away you go. Okay, if you're interested in looking at the pricing of the product, I'm not going to go into that in much detail at all. Go into the school pricing page, and you can see the different licensing options that Clicker offers, from a 1+1 license, which is obviously 2 devices, through 5, 10, and Site, which includes full unlimited school and home access to Clicker 8 and Clicker Writer. These are the license options here, and you'll be able to take a look at those at your leisure in the video playback, the recording that I will make available to you. So folks, that was Clicker 8 and some information about Clicker Writer. I'm just going to pause for a second because it's 1 minute to go in case anybody wants to unmute and ask me any questions. It's been a real pleasure and great to see so many of you join my webinar this afternoon. Thank you very much. I will hang around for anybody who wants to ask questions. You're all unmuted now, so if anyone has a question, go right ahead, unmute yourself, and call out to me.
How do the students get access to this? So you have a teacher license?
That's right. So yeah, so basically, when you buy a license for Clicker, let's take the 10 license, because that's got a number on it, right? So we will send you a serial number for Clicker 8 and the access details for Clicker Writer. You decide who you want to give those licenses to, up to a total of 10, and maybe you're going to install Clicker 8 on 3 teacher laptops, and you're going to give Clicker Writer to 7 kiddos who are working remotely on Chromebooks. Everything is delivered electronically. We give you the information, and then you can share that, push that out to the parents to access the installer for Clicker 8, or the correct Chrome web page or App Store page to install the app. Does that answer the question?
Okay, so out of the 10 licenses, then 3 would be used by teachers and the other 7 would be students.
Whatever combination you want. But
okay, so no, in some programs they just give you a specific teacher license.
Yeah, no, these are all the same, so you can split them and mix and match them exactly how you like. With the site license, that is an unlimited number of devices and users for both Clicker 8 and Clicker Writer, both at home and at school. The other licenses are for school building use only.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, and then I know you didn't go over Docs Plus today for middle and high school.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, that's a great point. We do have a product called Docs Plus, which takes a lot of the familiarity of Clicker and produces a much more age-appropriate literacy support for middle school and high school students. If you jump onto our website, you can watch a video all about Docs Plus there, and it also has the school pricing page with it as well. Okay?
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Well, I make it 2:26, so I'm going to I see some of you are leaving for your next session. I hope the day's been wonderful for you. Mike and Jen have done a great job of setting this up, and I really appreciate being given the opportunity to talk to you folks this afternoon. The recording will be available very soon, and it just remains for me to say thank you very much indeed for joining me and taking a look at Clicker 8 and Clicker Writer. And I wish you all a wonderful day. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.